Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. And the moment you start to realize your peace needs to be your priority, everything in your life starts to change. Listen, no one is protecting their peace the way I am. And that is a fact backed by data. I'm serious, guys. I think it took me a while to get here, but I'm finally at a place where I can say, I can tell you guys how to protect your peace and the things I did, some of the things I did to get to this place, because it hasn't been easy. I have all the reason in the world to have lost my sanity. On the surface, it definitely doesn't look like that. Look, I know the way I appear and the way it seems as if I have an easy life, but some of you don't know the things that have gone on in the background. And so I'm very thankful to God at how far I've come and how more there is to go. But this video is basically just going to be some of the things I think can help you, a woman especially, protect their peace. And some of the things I did, I will be sharing some personal experiences, and I hope this can help you as well. If you struggle to set the boundaries, if you struggle to protect your peace, if you struggle to know when to let things go, this video is for you. Oh, there's a cute dog in the park. Okay, first order of business. We live in a world that constantly pulls us. People, notifications, expectations. If you don't guard your peace, the world will take it from you without hesitation. This is very true. The kind of world we live in, social media, Instagram, people, places, if you're not careful with your time, how you choose to spend your time, the things that you give your energy to, you're just going to be so run out, and you don't have things for the things that actually matter. You don't have time for the things that actually matter. Again, I've definitely been in that place where I would exert all my energy on things that don't matter, and then I have no time for myself, for my studies, for my family, for creativity. Forget the things, forget self-care and all that. This is why you really need to protect your peace. A lot of women are taught to put everyone else's needs before their own, and this is the not right. To be a busybody, to be always seen to be doing something, especially if you come from an African household, to be a busybody. I once had this fake friend tell me I'm a lady of leisure, and to be honest, it's true. But she didn't mean it from a good place. What she was trying to say is that because I'm black, and I'm saying this because she was white, that I should be seen always trying to hustle and strive for something, and the way I enjoy comfort and being at peace, it's not something that I deserve. Obviously, she was not going to come out and say it. It's going to come through subtle, like snides, subtle things like that. But I caught it only about 2 years after I matured and everything. Because when you're so young, 18, 19, some things you weren't taught it. You're not cognizant of what people are saying. But I'm glad people show themselves to be who they are, because then I make better decisions in the future. Now I'm 21. I know who to give my time and energy to. I know who not to waste it on. We move. This video is not going to be a ramble, I promise you guys, because I feel like I'm very much an expert when it comes to protecting your peace, and the conversation naturally is just going to flow, because I've also had older relatives, teachers be upset with me because I radiate a sense of ease. Again, when you come from a Ghanaian African household, the expectation is that, oh, you need to be seen going to do economics, going to be seen doing medicine, going to be seen doing all this. It's not that I'm lazy, but I've never felt, especially because of the way I was brought up, I think this really helped me. Growing up in Ghana, I was really well pampered, and because of that, my grandma, my mom, my several aunties back in Ghana always tried to do a good job in making me feel safe and like I never needed to want anything. because of that, I don't feel like I need to earn anybody's approval or be seen to be productive in order to earn someone's love. And I know for some of us that's not the case. We grew up in very harsh environments where we always had to prove our worth. And these are things that we have to come out of, because no one is going to do that for you. People benefit off you thinking you need to be seen doing something, so you need to be in this Rick Ross mentality in order to be deserving of love. And you don't benefit at all. When I was at my student accommodation, I once asked this girl who was doing nursing, why is it that she's doing nursing? And she was like, oh, it's because I really love children. And for perspective, she was an Indian lady. She was Indian. I asked her, why did she do nursing? She said, oh, I really like to help children and something. And I'm not saying that it's not true. She doesn't like children. But I feel like certain minorities, certain backgrounds are encouraged to follow certain paths more than others, because they are thinking about stability, financial security. They're thinking about not wanting to disappoint their parents, not wanting to be seen as people who don't care about the society they live in. And I feel like this pressure really costs young girls especially a lot, because we live in a society, we live in an age, 2016, where you should be free to choose what you want to do. You shouldn't have to pass it by every single member in the family for it to be seen as a proper decision or something that is credible. You need to have a mind of your own. You need to explore your interests. You need to be in touch with who you really are, because I feel this life we have is not a dress rehearsal. We've only got one life, and if your whole life is spent bending backwards for what people think is best for you, you're not really living a life that is true to you. And so that's what I'm really mindful of, and I encourage anyone who's not doing that to tap into. And I don't say this in a I think I'm better than you kind of way. I just plead with you to free yourself, because I know what it has done for me and what it can also do for you. Another thing I want to say, so I'm not a traditional woman, and that's another thing that has helped me protect my peace. I spoke about my grandma. I'm not dissing her. Trust me, I love her. But she once said, I remember I was in the kitchen with her, and she said that I need to learn how to cook so that one day I can entertain my husband's guests. And mind you, at this point in time, I was probably like 8 or 10. And I remember thinking to myself, because why am I thinking about entertaining my husband's guests? First of all, I'm not even thinking about marriage. I'm 15 years away from that. And then secondly, who is going to entertain me? That is what I'm thinking about. Not entertaining my husband's guests, respectfully. And so that's a different conversation altogether. But the first priority is me. I need to be entertained. So I'm not thinking about entertaining my husband's guests. He can order Papa John's pizza or Domino's for all I care. I am going to be my first priority. When I'm thinking about learning to cook, I say that, I'm just joking. Obviously, when I get married, I will respect my husband. If he needs, we will cook for each other. It's going to be a balanced relationship. But I say this to say that don't burn out all your resources trying to put other people first because of patriarchal norms and all this. Because at the end of the day, you need to be your first cup of tea. You're the first person that you need to be looking after out of anybody. My priority for learning to cook is because I want to feel good in my energy. I want to feel energized. I want to have nourishment. I want to have energy to do all the things I set out to do. I want to be right in mind. It's not for that. So that's out. Next. So I spoke about my degree. I'm not going to speak about that again. I remember when I went to this faith-based event and someone asked me what I wanted to do in uni. And at the time, I thought I wanted to do economics. I've already spoken about that in the beginning of this video, but again, I want to reiterate. I felt a sense of imposter syndrome. And why I felt a sense of imposter syndrome is because when I told someone who asked me what I want to do when I go to uni is economics, their response was, oh, you like money. black girl, you like money. And I remember it just giving me the ick, because in my heart of hearts, I know I'm not, again, this Rick Ross person that likes to chase money. I want to do finance because I want to be rich. And it's not to say that anyone who's doing finance is wrong. Maybe they have their genuine reasons why they're studying finance. But for me personally, I knew it didn't align with my values. It didn't align with who I know myself to be. Just because someone is good with numbers, my grandma keeps always saying this, you have the mind for figures, why don't you go into finance? That is a traditional path, and I stand by that, because just because someone is good at reading doesn't mean they need to become a lawyer. Just because someone has the mind for figures doesn't mean they need to go into accounting. There are several routes to get to the same destination, and I feel like we shouldn't always allow older generations to influence how we behave today, because we just continue the loop of unhealthy cycles. And it's not to say she doesn't have the best for me. I know my grandma loves me more than anyone else after my mum, but part of discernment sometimes is knowing when certain things are reality and when certain things are projections. Another thing I would say is some people will string along first we're going to talk about energy boundaries. I kind of went on the tangent over there, but we're going to speak about energy boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to you. Pay attention to how you feel after you leave someone's presence. If your energy drops every single time, that's not a coincidence, that's a warning. There are certain places I've had to leave because I just felt like I wasn't aligned energetically with a certain environment. And it's not to say that people were bad or they were malicious towards me, but sometimes you just know when you're being gossiped about. It can be as simple as that. Like, I'm not going to continue staying in a place where I know that people are doing inconconsa. People are talking badly about me. What does that say if I continue to stay there? I'm just part of the circus? No, I respect myself too much. What else? Energy boundaries. Yeah, protecting your environment. I think I will come back to this. Okay, no. Yeah, let's even just talk about this honestly. Detaching from chaos, protecting your peace and your environment. I walk away from situations that I know are not serving me, and I have no regrets. I'm a certified leaver. Say it with me, certified leaver. It doesn't look right now at all. It doesn't look right now like I even know what self-abandonment means, and I know how to even put people before me. I don't say this in a facetious way. It doesn't look like that at all. But I know what it's like to live in chaotic situations, because in the past, my body got a high from turbulence, uncertainty. You know you're beginning to love yourself when you don't second doubt when to leave an environment that's not good for you. I think that's a very strong marker of self-love and self-respect. Self-love and self-respect that go hand in hand, because self-love is not just about lighting up candles and having bubble baths and going to do your nails and having your eyebrows this. It's also about knowing when to walk away from situations that don't serve you. And that, I feel I've gotten to a really good place right now. And I'm really proud of myself. So yeah. Another thing I will say, earlier this year, I left an environment, again, not because people were bad, but I didn't like the way that people communicated. And although this may seem small to someone who's watching this, for me, I believe that there is power in the tongue. I grew up with a relative who always told me there is power in the tongue. And I don't take that lightly at all. I'm very mindful of the words spoken to me, the words spoken around me. And listen, my degree is in communication. I take words very seriously. And so when certain words are being thrown from here to there, left, right, and center, anyhow, lots of insulting, lots of cussing, lots of this, it really ruffles me. And I might be a very sensitive person, but certain things just don't align with me, and I'm not going to stay in a place where I feel this is not a place where if I feel it suits me. And you're not going to question me because I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to give you an explanation. Another thing, yeah, I told, and some of it is also because you just drink water and mind your business, and you look beautiful when while I was doing it. Again, you can call me conceited. I don't care. But when you see me in person, you'll be talking badly about a person. Will be talking in environments that I've left. The person will be talking about you, but when you see me in person, hi Emma, I hope everything is okay. For me, what I'll say to you is everything is great. You're not going to know the details of my life. I'm not going to tell you anything because you haven't earned that seat at the table, and that's just the reality of it. If I notice a certain situation is robbing me of my energy and I need to focus on my studies, I'm not going to let you keep, taking that energy. There's only a certain amount of energy that Sorry, there was this boy in the background. He just came to hum with a helmet. I should have brought my microphone, but I forgot it. Sorry guys, this is not going to happen again. But yeah, if I notice certain things are happening, power plays, people are sapping me of the energy I need to do the important things in life, I'm not going to just sit down there like a box and allow you to keep sapping me of the energy. Another thing I want to talk about is it's important to have energy boundaries. You can't just be allowing anyone and anything to dictate. And it's not just people. When I say energy boundaries, it's the music you listen to, the conversations you have. Even I need to get better at this. I have certain relatives, I love them to death, but anytime I'm going to talk to them, I know I need to be in a good frame of mind. I need to not allow their, the things that they are going through to also rock my boat, because I work very hard to build a peaceful, a kind of environment where everything is at a steady place. Everything is, so that I can focus on things I need to focus on. And I don't say this in a selfish way. I say this in just a way so you know that, yeah, where we invest our time is important. I was taught to love thy neighbor as you love yourself, but some neighbors don't deserve that kind of access. I can love you from a distance, but I'm not going to give you my time and energy because you're not good for me. That's self-respect. Yeah. So that's what I think about energy boundaries. Another thing I want to speak about is silence as a power. You don't have to react to everything. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is silence. Now listen, I'm not for enabling bad behaviors, and if you're not being abused, you're not being, taken advantage of, that you should just sit down and keep quiet, because that's quite the contrary for what I stand for. But what I'm saying is, I used to think everything deserved a reaction. You need to know who is in charge over here and what you've done. I'm not going to let you get away with it. I have something to say on this. But unless you're being, again, mistreated, abused, taken advantage of, not every behavior deserves a reaction. If everything in life becomes who can insult the most, be a bad man, throw shots, how does that serve you? Because people forget your life is not really a music video. Your life isn't a music video, and the time you're wasting arguing and chatting shit, you could be building, pouring into your loved ones, creating something that will last beyond your years for future generations, and long-term reward. You could be building long-term reward over short-term gratification. Again, I'm not here to behave as if I'm this guru and I have everything sorted out, and I don't know what short-term gratification means, because listen, I like enjoyment, But at the same time, as I'm getting older, I realize that sometimes it's best to focus on, again, long-term growth. What is going to serve me in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, rather than that quick dopamine hit I'm going to get when I react to what this person is doing, what this person has said, blah, 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 blah. That's the point I'm in right now, and I'm very proud of myself for getting there. I hope you will join me on that journey. Another thing I will say, self-respect over approval is another way I protect my peace. The moment you stop needing validation, you become unstoppable. Approval is temporary, self-respect is permanent. You need to protect your peace by choosing yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. I've spoken a little bit about this, but I just want to highlight it again. You need to focus on what is it that really fills my soul, that fills my cup, over performance. We live in a world where a lot of people are trapped in this performance mentality. And for me, I won't lie, I've been that person as well that wanted to perform a certain way to win people's approval. But I've just gotten to a place where, you know what? Take it or leave it. I don't need you to like me for me to feel good about myself, for me to enjoy that brunch I'm going to, for me to dress well, for me to be sunbathed. I told my auntie I was coming to the park, and when she finished the call, she was like, enjoy whatever you're doing at that point, because she didn't go to the park. She doesn't understand. The point I'm trying to make is that I do what I like, and I do what benefits me, not what everyone thinks I should be accustomed to, or what is going to gain people's approval. That one is not my business. Another thing I will say, we've spoken about energy boundaries, we've spoken about silence, we've spoken about detaching from chaos, is resting without guilt. Rest is not laziness. Rest is a maintenance. You're not a machine, and you don't have to earn rest. It's your birthright. I think some people are really convinced they're machines, and it's because they're seeking approval. They want to curate a life to social media or to whoever that they don't sleep. I was speaking to my grandpa the other day, and he was like, I've heard you've gotten 2 jobs and you're not even sleeping. And the way I started laughing, because that's not true at all. I'm very much getting the rest I need, and I will always have rest, even if I was having 10 jobs. Rest to me will never be seen as this thing that I have to earn, because why should you feel that you don't deserve rest until you've done A, B, C, D, and E? I'm not saying that we shouldn't prioritize hard work and going after our goals, but we also need to know when it's time for recovery, for self-compassion, because those things are equally important. If we don't have breaks, we don't have time to reflect, we don't have time to just self-soothe, how are we going to sometimes carry on and do what we've set out to do? Because like I said, we are human beings, we're not machines. So I've spoken about this, and my last point will be learning how to let go gracefully. Peace often comes after letting go of what you're forcing. Release what's heavy, accept what's not meant for you, and let go without bitterness. In the words of Toni Braxton, just let go. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. She has this beautiful song called, I think it's called Let It Flow. Guys, let me just give you the right information. I don't want to give you guys false. Yeah, I know it's called Let It Flow. But the point of that song is really telling people not to hold on to... It's a part of the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. And the point of that song is just to say, let it go. Let it flow. Basically, there's no hidden meaning in the song. Just allow yourself to be unburdened by the things that are weighing you down, and accept things for what they are. Whether it's a bad relationship you've had with someone, this toxic experience, this person didn't treat you the way they were meant to, you allowed yourself to lose yourself. Let it go, let it flow, accept yourself and accept the situation for what it is, and know that tomorrow is another day, guys. That's all I'm trying here. I'm really trying to say to you guys. And the most beautiful things in life don't come from always trying to gain a sense of control. I've noticed that the people who really struggle with connection are people who want control over every certain situation. And connection and control cannot happen in the same arena. They can't happen in the same place. One has to let go. One has to surrender before the other takes place. And so, yeah, if you're always trying to control everything. I watched this funny movie with my friend starring Taraji P. Henson. I don't know if that's your pronounce her name. It was on Netflix and it was called What Men Want. And basically in the movie, the whole thing is trying to say, it touched on how lonely she was because she put her ego first at the cost of loneliness. And I feel like this is what so many people do, and they don't realize how adversely it's affecting their peace, because you cannot have peace in a world where you're constantly trying to perform again and you're putting your ego before everything else. You don't prioritize connection with others, rather material success. And I'm not saying those things are not important. We live in a world where you need money to succeed. You need money to have peace of mind. You do. But when certain things are your only priorities, okay, you live a one-dimensional life. You can't breathe and stop and think, okay, what are the other things I need to be grateful for in life? What are the things I need to pour into my life? Because there are different aspects to make what a good life is. It's not just money. It's also fitness. It's also relationships. It's also peace of mind. It's also having what do you call it, self-actualization, pouring into your creativity. Your life can't just be one thing that you're always wanting to be seen, going after, to be seen as successful and whatnot. So yeah, it really resonated with me because I saw parts of myself in that movie, and that's one thing I didn't say to my friend, but I've come to realize in order for me to be happy in this life, I need my life to be balanced, and it can't be steering in one direction, or I'm going to miss out on the other parts of life that we need. And if we want to go far in life, we've got to let go of limiting beliefs. Another thing we've got to let go of is limiting belief, cultural programmings, childhoods that span a narrative and told us what something should or shouldn't look like. Until we reach that place, we will never be free. My closing message for you: protecting your peace is a daily practice. It's choosing yourself again and again. Your peace is your power. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Take care of your peace. It's the foundation of everything. Bye guys, see you on the next video and tell me what you thought.